One way that I love to choose which films I am going to see is look at some critics' lists of best films of respective years, like in the 2000s, 90s, 80s, 70s. So I've seen almost every film that Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert have placed on their list from the 60s to the late 90s. And also there's Dave Kerr of who's now the Museum of Modern Art cinema curator, and Michael Wilmington of the Chicago Tribune, formerly of the LA Times, who I thought was actually better sometimes than Siskel and Ebert. But it wasn't just them. Like sometimes I'd go on like Jonathan Rosenbaum and Andrew Sarris. And it was through some of these other guys, not Siskel and Ebert, that I ended up discovering this film that came out in 1997 and a bigger release in 1998 called the EEL. So the EEL was the co-winner of its year's Palme d'Or, which is essentially the Cannes Film Festival winner, like a Cannes Film Festival equivalent of Best Picture Academy Award. Yeah, what's good about the EEL is it does a really good job in being, I guess I'd say it's a psychological film. It isn't really violent. Well, maybe in one or two scenes. There isn't a lot of profanity. I guess you could say that it would almost be in the same league as a Akira Kurosawa or Yasujiro Ozu film, because of how poignant and how much this movie can really resonate with the viewer. It is a slow burner, but it is a really good slow burner. I'll admit I can be really picky with slow burners. I'm not really one that really likes when a film is so slow that like pull out my phone checking the time and like, okay, something actually happened that's interesting. No, the EEL isn't like that. It's over the director's cut, so over 2 hours. But I was fully invested every moment of the way. I loved everything about this film. So the movie deals with this a Japanese businessman named Yamashita, who gets these anonymous letters saying that his wife cheats on him whenever he goes fishing. He lives in suburban Tokyo, and one day he actually catches her in the act and brutally kills her and seriously injures her mistress. Well, her lover, whatever. He gets sent to the slammer, gets released on parole 8 years later. And while he's on parole, when he gets released for parole, he takes with him this eel. Now, what he likes about the eel is he can bond with it, and he knows that the eel won't let him down, that the eel won't be unfaithful to him. Him being in prison was one thing, but ultimately when he saw his wife actually in bed with another man, that just killed him indefinitely. So he doesn't want to grow attached to really anybody else because he's afraid of the potential pain that can come back to him. So things seem to be okay the first little bit while he's on parole. He opens up his own barber shop because that was his duty in prison, like one of his things. And he ends up meeting this woman who has some family problems of her own, and oddly enough, this woman happens to look a little bit like his actual wife. Like they're not doppelgangers of each other. you can definitely tell which one's which. Don't get me wrong, but because there even is a slight bit of resemblance, that there in itself is a big surprise. So, yeah, he really does confide in this pet eel while trying to navigate his the blooming friendship that's been going on with her, because as I said, he doesn't want to grow really attached to her. And meanwhile, there's this other dude that he was in prison with, who's a total trash bum, and he's jealous of Yamashita actually doing a really good job in reintegrating into society. He's jealous with Yamashita's efforts actually paying off. He's jealous of all that. While the movie is happening, yes, we are fully drawn in to what's happening. We grow to really care about everything that happens. The filming in this, it is pretty good. It's not like totally amazing or anything, but there are some moments where I was like, that was really good. I really liked that. The ending was something that I thought that it's kind of a disagreeable bit, but it's not like, oh my god, this is terrible. But still, The Eel as a whole is a really good film. Maybe one day I'll even say that The Eel is achieves a very high standard of excellence. It has happened to me before, where the more times I see a film, then the more I grow to love it. And The Eel in this case, I've only seen it twice, and yet this was my most recent watch, much better than my second watch. So maybe even my third watch, fourth watch, maybe it's I'll call it a sheer masterpiece someday. And when the day comes, I'll look forward to doing another video about it. So I'll give The Eel from 1997 3.5 stars out of 4. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you again next time.